Hello and welcome to another edition of Las Vegas Pitch Presents. We have a super fun guest today, Gage Lujan with the Galindo Group Real Estate. We're going to talk about so many different things. I love who you are, your energy. I want to know all about you and get a little bit of a take on what's going on in the market right now and just have some fun. So Gage, great to see you.
You as well, sir.
All right, so let's get started. Number one, how long have you actually been in real estate?
So
Because you have a very look.
Yes.
Right?
Well, so I'm 28. People think I'm 18.
Yeah.
But it's been my life for forever.
It's a good thing as you get older.
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
awesome.
mad about it at all.
Yeah.
Every time they ask for my card, I'm like, absolutely. I've been licensed now. I'm coming up on 5 years in October. So I'm going through all my CE. Prior to that, I spent about two and a half years with American West as the home builder.
Right.
They've now been purchased by Pulte Homes. But at the time, I knew this is what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to sell homes at a new construction tract. And so I went there, started it, and I was like the office boy mate. I was ordering toilet paper, ordering paper, taking Keurig cups to all the sites, and then picking up all their documents, taking it back to their escrow team that they had, and just worked my way up. And just as I was about to start, selling homes for them, that's when they were acquired by Pulte, and my position was a little bit of everything. So I was expendable, and I knew that, okay, I have to really get this going.
Right.
So I went on a vacation in October of 2019, came back and couldn't log into my computer.
You knew something was up.
Yep. 5 minutes later, I get called to go up to the boss's office, and next thing you know, I'm doing real estate full time.
Okay.
So I had my license for like 3 weeks by the time that happened. And I was like, well, time to hit the ground running.
That's right. So background, that builder experience, what did you learn from that has taken it into your other real estate career?
Well, the main thing I've learned, and I don't like talking bad about people or things, but it's that the builder works for the builder every single time. So, when we as agents say, don't go to your first visit, yes, it's because we're not going to get paid, but because there's a lot that they don't tell you.
Yeah.
And I have seen different price sheets depending on if you come with the builder, if you don't. Now, that was like when I first started. I don't see that as much anymore. I think a lot more people are working ethically, but the standard's still the same. When you walk into your office, like as nice as they are, as sweet as they are, as helpful, their loyalty is to the builder, not you. So it's just having somebody there that actually cares for you to make it happen.
You need to have representation.
Absolutely.
Basically, because the builders are going to, like you said, everything's going to be skewed towards trying to help the builder and the builder side. And having a buyer's agent to navigate some of the intricacies, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in that new home building. Certainly having that representation is huge.
Yeah. And
have you done any new builds now that you've been in
a whole
agent?
bunch? Yeah, I just closed on 2 in the last week. Well, the second one's closing later this week. The big thing with those, an agent can go and get you under contract with a new build home, and I'm not going to lie and sit here and act like it's not 90% less work for us than a retail home. So you really have to show your value, right? There's a chance that you can go into contract and 6 months when we do your walkthrough. So it's staying on top of the build process, driving over there, sending them photos of what it looks like. The builder's not doing it. Actually having conversations, when the builder sends emails and being involved, not just looking at them, like showing your value. And then also what I found with a lot of construction clients is those are the ones that I get the closest with. It's such a long process. And like I said, there's not much that we do, at least firsthand. It's the builder. So I'm trying to get face value. I'm trying to build that relationship, and you end up just talking about life and becoming friends with these people versus just a quick 30 to 45 day business transaction.
And walkthroughs and punch lists
Yep.
and all that stuff
Yep.
that you go through, right?
Yep.
And so you went from there, and it was like, okay, I'm going into real estate.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that and how that transition was.
Well, so it was immediate. I went to one of like the bigger name brokerages, and I had joined a team and was promised, oh, you're going to have this much production, you're going to have this many leads. And, I drank the Kool-Aid, and I did basically what I did with the builder. Whatever I was told I did. And, it got me through a year, and I made the money that I needed to pay the bills, but there wasn't anything crazy, and I wasn't seeing the progress that I wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wasn't allowed to brand and do video, which is what I had wanted to do the whole time.
Yeah,
right?
You got to show your personality, who you are.
100%.
And you have this energy about you that is just awesome. And people need to see that.
Well, that's why we're going to go golf.
That's right.
Spend
Okay,
more time.
I'm ready.
So I spent a year in that, and then we went to go do team photos, and it's a long story, but I was basically, screamed and berated at by one of the leads, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I literally, that day, I leave. I decide I'm going to go move to another brokerage. I go to Avenues Realty. It's a small boutique with Deirdre Felgar, and she's just amazing and taught me everything I knew as far as being a better negotiator and knowing my contracts and knowing what to write in, like everything you would hope to have like in a realtor who knows their stuff, like she gave to me. And so I spent a whole year there, and literally it's her and two other agents and me. And there's other people that hang their license, but it's just us three in the office. So anytime I needed my broker, it was like calling my mom or calling my dad. And she'd pick up every single time. And, I started building like my brand there and, kind of going towards just what is me. So like my colors are black and yellow, black and gold, like Pittsburgh. So just everything that's me, I put into my business. And then transitioned to go global once she stepped down, was there for about a year. And again, just continued to learn more from Michael Ring and his team. And then once it was time for me to get to Galindo and really just not accept that I was okay to go there finally, but I felt good.
Yeah.
And like I could hold my own weight. That's when I transitioned there last year in March.
I think mentorship is huge.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand what a good mentor can get you to.
Mm-hmm.
And just figuring out how to do things the right way, the ethical way,
Yep.
everything doing it, so that it's done. So you've had some good mentors,
Mm-hmm.
right? How has that helped your business?
Oh, tremendously. I've had some bad mentors, and not because of themselves, but because of me, right? So I've learned if I'm out there trying to seek this person, I really enjoy this person, I want to try to learn from them, it doesn't work. Like they kind of have to find you while you're finding yourself in a way, right? So I had no idea that Deirdre was going to end up being who she was for me.
Right.
And she was just so important and pivotal at that time in my life. And then I had no idea who Michael was when we moved over to go global. I just trusted Deirdre's word.
Right.
And again, it was like a male version of her.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And then just now at Galindo, Josh Galindo is just absolutely a freak of nature. So much information in that man's head. You could talk to him every day and learn something new. And all of those people I didn't necessarily seek out. It was just, it happened. It was law of attraction type deal, right?
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier. And, as much as I, work hard and I believe what I've done has built my business where I have, like, I cannot say any of that without them.
Yeah. Well, and having basically doing deals
Mm-hmm.
and putting them together and making sure that you have all your I's dotted, T's crossed,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing it consistently.
Yep.
That's where you gain that experience. And so sometimes, I mean, there's realtors out there that have probably a lot more years than you, but you have a ton more experience than them
Thanks.
because of the experiences that you've had putting deals together. So what is it that you work on for the most part? What would you describe your business as?
As far as like what type of real
Yeah.
estate I do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, traditional is how it started, right? And I feel like everybody starts from the ground up. So you have, your buyers. I was very buyer heavy for the first 3 years doing it. And then they start kind of turning over and those clients are starting over and then your name gets out. So now, I'm helping buyers and sellers. As of recently, back in November, I finally have a business partner. We've been friends for about 10 years, where he's brought me in onto his flip business. So now we're getting into flips. On my way here today, I actually got like my first real call of someone calling me because they know we do flips in Sun City. Just trying to say, hey, do you want this, rather than trying to find it on the MLS, right? So things are starting to turn over. But with all of that, if someone genuinely were to say, like, what do you do? I would just say, I help people.
You help people.
And I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit so you've been married.
Yep.
Recently married, but been with her for a while.
Yep.
Great story. I would love to go back into that. But you have a child now?
Yep. I have a baby girl. She's about to be 1.5 in a couple weeks.
1.5 years old?
Yep.
Okay.
She's just, it is so crazy to see just the happiness of a child and the pure bliss. It's like, everyone says it, but, and we were all children, but it's like the one part of our lives that we don't really remember, right? So being able to see it, like,
and experience it. They're sponges up until about 5 years old. It's unbelievable.
Amazing. Like, she doesn't talk in full sentences at all. She'll say like, dad, mom, or mama sometimes, but everything's dad. But, now like we've been teaching her like sign language. So like when we give her some food, she'll come back over and she's like, So that means more.
Yeah.
So she wants more food, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to be communicating with her. And now she's at a point where I can say high five and knuckles and, give me a kiss, and she'll go, and it's just so amazing to have something. It's not like a business, but you start from ground zero, right?
Yeah.
And then you see where you get to. So it's just same thing with the child. Like, you're there every single day with them. There's no break, and you just watch this little human just turn into the amazing person that they are and will be. And she's awesome.
That's awesome.
She's awesome.
So going to transition here a little bit back to confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence in yourself, confidence in having the experience to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You've had some really great success here. And how do you think that confidence has propelled you forward? Because you're not afraid.
No.
You are bold. You are confident. You are, going to continue to make this thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that's helped you going forward?
Well, how much of a story do you want with this? Because I can
Go.
take this back. Okay, so I'm 5'6". I'm 120 pounds wet. Okay. If I go to the gym consistently, I'm lucky to reach 130. So I'm a small guy. Always have been. So I was bullied in middle school. And then one day I was just like, I'm sick of this. And I just decided I didn't care what anybody thought.
Yeah.
I owned it. And as I've gone forward in my life, I've been who I am.
Yeah.
And like, I lead with my heart, and I care about those that care about me or that are looking for people to care about them, like clients.
Right.
And so, I feel like authenticity is key, because when you are who you truly are, you attract those other people, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your suit and tie real estate guy,
No.
You're like, this is great, this is you, and this is Bill Gaylord, and I love it, right?
Yeah, I'm
and
a little bit older
I'll
too.
wear polos too,
Yeah.
but when it's 100+ plus degrees outside. I'm going to wear my hoochie daddy shorts, as the kids call them these days.
Hoochie daddy.
That's what they call them.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to wear my Justin Timberlake shirt. And yes, I'll have my button up, but
Yeah.
it's not a, it's, you know, it's, so I show up as myself.
Yeah.
And the more that I found that like I've shown up as myself and have like, I guess, loved myself, like not being so hard and just, you know, I'm 5'6", and you know what? That's cool, right?
Right.
Life's just been, it's been great.
Yeah. Well, clearly,
I think
you know,
the confidence comes, but I think it starts with like love.
love,
right? Yeah.
love yourself. Yeah, makes sense. So, what do you see the market doing? Where do you think it's going to go? What's going to happen here in the next? I mean, we've got elections coming up.
Yeah.
We've got interest rates that are starting to go down. Where do you think the market's going to go?
It can go a lot of places. Well, let me ask you this first, because
Okay.
I want to know. So throughout my whole time coming up, everyone's always said, oh, the election's coming up. That means rates are going to drop. Then I had another lender of mine, a friend, send me this data because his brother challenged him on it because he's a lawyer. And he's like, let me look this up. Apparently, there's no data that shows specifically that elections cause rates to get better. But obviously, there's a lot of things around it that do.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, like,
I tend to agree. I
Okay.
don't think that it's necessarily a given that rates will drop. I think that part of it is the current administration
Mhm.
wants the economy to be better because
They wanna
elections many
win.
times are based on, you know, the
Okay.
direction of the economy.
Okay.
So they may be doing things to try and get to that level.
Mhm.
But right now, honestly, the rates are going down
Yep.
because the economy isn't great.
Yeah.
They're showing some cracks in the economy.
Yeah, well, we just had the stock market go
Yeah,
go
1,000
down.
points
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
right?
So,
Yeah,
well, with terrible things like that happening, I think comes great opportunity, right? Whether you're in, you know, people can go buy a bunch of stocks now, they're going to go back up, right? So it's kind of like right now in the real estate market, I feel like we're past that bottom. And I just had a conversation with one of my sellers yesterday because she's got a beautiful home. It's priced great. Just we're not getting a bunch of showings, right? And I think we're right in the middle of a pivotal period with rates just dropping, right? From April to now, it's like a $200 in savings from where they were to where they are now.
Yeah.
And now we have the news of a 0.5% cut coming in September. So you have people that are saying, oh, I'm going to wait until they drop. Obviously, it gets super competitive, but hey, I get approved for more. Or you have the people that are going now before it gets competitive.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that don't know what they want to do, right? So we're like these next 3-4 weeks are going to be, I feel like, a very big pivotal moment in like where we're going. But if it drops a 0.5% and they do it another half, so we go down to full point, even by January, then we get the new administration in that wants to say, hey, this, you know, we're going to do great things, or the same, right? This is what we're doing. Gets people excited to invest. They start putting money out because they entice them with lower rates. I mean, we could see 2021 all over again.
it could be another big one.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times the consumer themselves, it's their confidence levels.
Mhm.
It's when there is uncertainty, people just don't do anything. They basically freeze, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the consumer, to a certain degree right now, is a little bit hesitant.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of hit the pause button a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think as you know, we get closer and closer to, you know, the next few months, and then there is some maybe more certainty,
Yeah.
I think that will spur it on.
Yeah. Right now.
Particularly with the rates, if they do drop the way we think they will,
Mhm.
that's going to, I think, really get the market going again.
Yeah, we've hit such a freeze right now where it's like everyone wants to make the best decision for themselves, right? Like, oh, I want to make the most money or get the best deal. And now we're in a moment where, especially if you don't do this every day, it's like, well, this looks great, that looks great. Do I do it now or do I wait? Because
Yeah.
both have pros to it,
Yep.
you know?
And the funny thing is, because the rates have started to drop, and there's been some, if you will, cracks in the economy that is part of the reason why they're coming down.
Mhm.
Some of the people that were willing to buy are now like, "Ooh, is my job in jeopardy?"
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of hesitancy on that
yeah.
standpoint too.
As great as the market can look, or as terrible as the market can look for somebody, I always tell them, like, don't listen to the news. Don't even listen to me, right? And I say me meaning realtors. But the way I present it is, this is what happens if you go this direction now. Here are all your pros. Here are all your cons, right? This is what happens if you go the other route, pros, cons. I can't tell you what's best for you because I'm not the one paying your bills. I don't know how secure your job is. You're the one that is with your funds, your money, your family at night. These are what can happen, or this is what can happen. You tell me which makes you more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think doing it that way allows people to feel more comfortable knowing there's good. When people say it's a good market, it's a bad market for a lot of people, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's just being honest with somebody so then they are able to do what's best for them.
Right. I want you to look forward 10 years. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Jeez.
You'll be 38.
Yeah. Well, I will have a 10-year-old daughter. That's insane. 10 years, hopefully at least 20 pounds heavier with the ability to grow a beard. Just starting my own brokerage and basically just doing content all day, every day.
Yeah.
And having my team just run the business. I just want to be happy, successful, and with my family, right? Yeah. And I'm already starting, and I want to make my business a well-oiled machine. So like, I don't have to do that part of it, right? Yeah. I still want to have my clients, but what my wife and I want to do, or we want to like move abroad, right? Yeah. Either out of the country or in another state, and have my business here and just well enough so I don't have to worry. So if I need to come back, I can come back, and I don't. And just experience other parts of the world while having my brokerage just do its thing.
So, but
while
for now we got
hard.
And working hard.
Yeah.
You always work hard.
Yeah, that's a given.
It is, people like you they're gonna work hard no matter what. Whether it's like they're living over here or living over there. You're always going to make and try and move the needle in some form or fashion.
It doesn't shut off.
It does not shut off. You're an entrepreneur. You make it happen. You get out there and you really help a lot of people. So Gage, last words. For somebody who's looking to sell their house right now, what would you recommend they do?
I don't think it's anything special. It's speak to a professional and make sure what they say you trust. And if you don't trust what they're saying, it's probably because you don't trust how they're saying it, right? So find someone that is not only going to be your real estate agent, but could be your friend.
Yeah.
And just do your best. Right now, I would say selling your home right now, homes are still going off the market. You have low inventory still. We're going to have a bunch of other buyers coming in if rates keep doing what they're doing. And it's going to be madness. So really the conversation is, you're going to sell. Where are you going to go? Right? And so having somebody to walk you through A to Z, not just, A to G.
Right.
That's the conversation they need to be having, because it's a lot more than just selling. But like I said earlier, it's always a great time to buy and sell. Just, is it good for you?
Is it good for you at this time?
Find someone who's honest with you. Yeah.
And how can people find you? What's the best way to find you?
Best way to find me is let's just say Instagram at GageNich, GageNich. I am at Galindo Group Real Estate. I have Facebook, I have YouTube's, all under the same name, but Instagram's where I am most prevalent, and just, I guess I get to be more present.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I love seeing your content. It's awesome. And looking forward to seeing more and more amazing things coming from you.
Yeah.
So Gage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let's do that again.
Yeah, let's do that again.
There we go.
We'll get better as we golf more.
That's right. Thanks, everybody. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Las Vegas pitch out.